Heyo everyone, welcome to a brand new sales episode. Today we'll look through the eShop together at some of the best deals you can pick up right now. I'm sure most of you have noticed the sales have been getting better and better over the last few weeks, and I'm willing to bet they're going to continue with these amazing prices for the next few months. The games will rotate week to week, of course, so be sure to keep an eye on them as often as possible and wishlist the ones that you want and maybe you're not too sure about. If this is your first time here at the channel, welcome and thanks for hanging out. If you have a good time or you enjoy saving money on great games, consider hitting that red button down below to subscribe and become part of the crew. And if you've been here before, welcome back my friends, thanks as always. We appreciate you, much love to the fam, and with all that said, let's dive in and find some deals. As always, stay safe out there and please enjoy the video. Bite the Bullet. This is an action platformer from Megacat Studios published by Graffiti Games, and it offers multiplayer action for 2 players locally with the main story that should last maybe 2 or 3 hours, and it has a download size just under 3 gigabytes. The major twist here is that in addition to running and gunning, you also have to eat your enemies, bullets, and more to upgrade your characters, your weapons, and your skills. Basically, you mow down the enemies and then eat the corpses to consume their energy, and then move forward. You can also pick between 4 classes and make your way through the 50 different levels in a few different ways. I love how what you eat can affect your character's look and abilities, and this is a cool game worth checking out. Right now it's on sale until the 17th, marked down 80% to just $2.99, matching a previous low. Raging Justice is an arcade-style fighter from Team 17, available in co-op for 2 players and has a download size around 1 gigabyte. The main game isn't very long, only lasting maybe 2 hours or so, but there's tons of replayability here, so you'll definitely get your money's worth if you decide to pick it up. The 2D graphics are amazing, and the game features some absolutely brutal combat. The game also gives you the option of playing as a somewhat good guy or an all-out savage, and what I mean by this is you can either daze and arrest your enemies, or you can just take them out if you want. If you're a fan of classic arcade-style beat-em-ups, make sure to grab this one up before the sale ends on May 12th. It's marked down 75%, matching an all-time low of just $374. Next up, we have Smoke and Sacrifice. This is a single-player, narrative-driven RPG from Curve Digital with a main story that will last roughly 15 to 20 hours to finish up, and the download is around 1 gigabyte. In this one, players will have to craft items, fight enemies, and learn to survive as you explore the huge open world. The story follows a young mother who has to sacrifice her firstborn child to the Sun Tree, which is a tree that has replaced the actual sunlight. Players will set off on a mission from here to uncover the dark secrets to what happened to her son. The game features beautiful graphics, the story is engaging, and the controls work perfectly. If you're interested in Smoke and Sacrifice, be sure to pick it up before the sale ends on May 16th. It's marked down 80% to just $3.99. Next up we have Tallowmere. This is a multiplayer roguelite available in local co-op with up to 3 other friends. The game has a small download size around 110 megabytes and the main story should last roughly 6 to 7 hours to finish up. It features randomly generated rooms that progressively get more complex and more deadly. There are tons of weapons to find, and just like with the rooms, they become more and more powerful as you get further into the run. Along with the deadly traps and the weapons, of course the enemies follow suit, and by the end they can be quite challenging as well. If you're looking for a fun game to play with some friends and couch co-op, be sure to check out Tallowmere before the sale ends on May 13th. Right now it's marked down 70% to just $2.09, which matches a previous low. The Gardens Between is a single-player puzzle-style adventure game from Voxel Agents and offers a short and emotional story that should last roughly 2 to 3 hours to finish, and it has a download around 1.7 gigabytes. Now this is a game focused on time, memory, and friendship, in which you play as 2 best friends as they relive their memories and examine their strong bond. We do this through a series of dreamlike island stages that are littered with everyday items from our past. In these surreal stages, time flows in many different directions and you'll have to learn to manipulate it to overcome the different puzzles. The game is definitely a lot of fun to play and features some truly memorable moments. It's full of charm and creativity, and if you're interested in The Gardens Between, make sure to check it out before the sale ends on May 19th. It's marked down 80% to a new low of just $3.99. Xenon Valkyrie Plus is a single-player roguelike RPG with a retro aesthetic, a small download size around 80 megabytes or so, and a main story that should last more than 10 hours to finish up. It has 3 playable characters, each with their own skills and abilities, great platforming, epic boss battles, tons of upgrades and secrets to find, plus there's multiple endings. However, the game is pretty tough and has the dreaded permadeath, so getting all of them will take some time. This is another amazing value at under $2. If you're interested in Xenon Valkyrie Plus, make sure to pick it up before the sale ends on the 21st. It's marked down 80%, matching an all-time low of just $199. Freedom Planet is a single-player 2D adventure game with a download size around 380 megabytes and a main story that should last roughly 8 to 10 hours to wrap up. As I mentioned, it's shown from a side view with a gorgeous 2D pixel art aesthetic, a rocking soundtrack to pump you up, and super smooth gameplay. The boss battles were the highlight for us though with this one, as not only are they epic and fun to fight, but they even have their own theme music and each of the tracks was awesome. Again, this game has 3 playable characters, a cool momentum-based platforming system, and tons of content on offer, making it a great value. If you're interested in Freedom Planet, grab it up before the sale ends on May 12th. It's marked down 70%, matching a previous low of just $449. Alright, we'll start off with ANIMUS Revenant. This is a single-player action RPG and the third game in the series, and this time it's a much larger game with a heavier emphasis on the RPG mechanics and the storytelling. It has a download size around 2.5 gigabytes and a hefty story that could last dozens of hours to finish up. Now, the game was heavily inspired by the Dark Souls series with stamina-based combat, invincibility frames, dodge rolls, and all that. It was changed to a more isometric view from the past games, which were shown in an over-the-shoulder third-person perspective, and fans of challenging RPGs or the Dark Souls games will likely feel right at home with this one. If you're interested in ANIMUS Revenant, be sure to pick it up before the sale ends on May 12th. It's marked down 57% to a brand new low of just $988. Next up, we have the Anti-Hero Bundle. This is a bundle of 3 games from Digerati and includes Nefarious, which is a 2D platformer where you play as the villain and wreak havoc across 5 different kingdoms. Reverse Crawl, a fast-paced strategy RPG which allows players to control armies of the undead against elite heroes, and of course, Underhero, another 2D platformer, this time a bit more story and RPG focused. Now, the bundle normally retails for $41, and right now it's marked down to just $614, which is an 85% discount and matching an all-time low. If you're thinking about picking up any of the games individually, make sure to consider this instead. You can pick it up until May 12th. Next, we have Cardaclysm, Shards of the Four. This is a single-player deck-building RPG with a download size around 2.7 gigabytes, and again it offers dozens of hours of gameplay. We play as a dark wizard whose attempt to control the 4 horsemen through magic has backfired and instead set them free along with plenty of other horrifying creatures. The game is procedurally generated, and while it keeps the game feeling new, it also causes a bit of challenge at the start of the game because you may run into an enemy too early that you're just not prepared for. While you chase down the 4 horsemen, you'll gather cards and build your deck and explore the different levels, which of course will be crawling with enemies. If you're interested in this one, be sure to pick it up before the sale ends on May 19th. It's marked down 60% to a brand new low of just $5.99. Next, we have the Couch Co-op Bundle Volume 2, which is another bundle from Digerati, and this time it includes 4 games. You'll get Black Paradox, which is a fast-paced shoot-'em-up with vibrant pixel art and an awesome soundtrack, Shikando, which is another absolutely gorgeous bullet hell style game steeped in Asian mythology, Vertical Drop Heroes, an RPG with procedurally generated worlds, and of course you get the fast-paced arcade style shooter, Bleed. The bundle normally retails for $46, and again right now it's marked down 85%, matching an all-time low of just $689 until May 12th. Darkwater, Slime Invader is a single-player action puzzle platformer with a download around 1.3 gigabytes and a main story that should last around 10 to 15 hours to finish up. In this one, we follow a young girl and her grandmother as they go on a journey together to save their village. There are more than 40 levels, and each of them contains upgrades for both of the main characters. The graphics look great in the game with bright colors that pop off the screen, plus the controls are pretty tight too, and the story is of course very entertaining. You basically have to use all the skills that you find throughout the game to clear each stage in order to move to the next. If you're interested in this one, be sure to check it out before the sale ends on May 12th. It's marked down 57% to a brand new low of just $644. The Devious Dungeon Collection is a package of 2 single-player action RPGs with a download size around 280 megabytes, and together they offer more than 10 hours of gameplay. They offer randomly generated levels, unique environments, boss battles, and multiple playable characters and more. As you make your way through the dungeons, you'll collect loot and experience, which you can then use, of course, to level up. Now, if you're interested in the bundle, you can get it on sale until May 16th, marked down 60% to just $519. Or you can pick up each game individually as they're both on sale as well. Next we have Everhood, which is a single-player adventure game from foreign gnomes with a story that should last maybe 5 to 6 hours to wrap up, and the download is around 1.4 gigabytes. It features a unique rhythm-based combat system, and it draws heavy inspiration from games like Undertale and Deltarune. Now, like with those titles, the story is comical, the music is enthralling, and the gameplay is a mixture of action-adventure and mini-games. The graphics are trippy and it runs well on the Switch. If you're interested in Everhood, be sure to pick it up before the sale ends on May 15th. Right now it's marked down 33% to a new low of just $9.99. Genesis Noir is a single-player adventure game from Fellow Traveler with a download size around 4.2 gigs and a main campaign that should last roughly 5 hours or so to finish up. Now this is a fantastic point-and-click adventure game that spans through time and space, where every action causes a ripple effect and can change many different things. In a fit of rage, a jealous god sends out a gunshot at our loved one, and as we travel through time, we alter and change the course of history in an attempt to save her before it's too late. The game is pretty heavy and it does have an emotional story, but if you're looking for a good point-and-click adventure, make sure to check out Genesis Noir before the sale ends on May 12th. It's marked down 50% to a brand new low of just $7.49. Next we have Greak Memories of Azur. This is a single-player puzzle platformer from Team 17 and offers roughly 8 to 9 hours of main story gameplay with a download size around 1.6 gigabytes. The story revolves around 3 siblings on a quest to save their home from invasion. The hand-drawn art and animations are stunning here on the Switch, and there's even a demo for folks to try out first. Now, although there's a heavy emphasis on puzzle solving throughout the game, it never gets too overly complicated, and it also features an amazing combat system as well, and some challenging bosses to reward your hard work. If you're interested in Greak Memories of Azur, make sure to pick it up before the sale ends on May 12th. It's marked down 50% to just $9.99 and matching an all-time low. Guild of Darksteel is a single-player 2D narrative-driven adventure title from Digerati with roughly a 3 or 4 hour story, and the download comes in around 140 megabytes. In this one, we play as an immortal assassin trying to find a purpose in life, and so we join the Guild of Darksteel to help defend the tunnels below the city. The game has a unique retro feel, and it was inspired by games like Flashback from the Past. It has a fun combat system, but the story to me is the best part. If you're interested in Guild of Darksteel, be sure to pick it up before the sale ends again on May 12th. It's marked down 35% to just $9.74, and again matching an all-time low. Next we have the Indie Darling Bundle Volume 3, which is another absolutely awesome deal, again from Digerati, and again offering 4 games. You get 1979 Revolution Black Friday, which is a deeply narrative-driven experience and award-winning drama. Shikondo, the bullet hell storm featured earlier in the video. You get Nefarious as well, which is the 2D platformer where you play as the villain in the anti-hero bundle. And of course you get Omega Strike, which is an awesome 2D platformer and worth the price alone. The bundle is normally $50, and right now you can get it marked down again 85% to just $7.57, matching an all-time low until May 12th. Last Day of June is a single-player puzzle-style adventure game with a download size around 2.1 gigabytes and a story that should last roughly 3 to 4 hours to finish up. Now the game tells the story of June's final day with the man that she loves, and the visual style along with the music really draw you into the story. Now there is some light puzzle solving throughout the game, and you can alter the course of events slightly, but the emotional weight of this is definitely going to last a while after you finish the game. If you're interested in Last Day of June, be sure to grab it up before the sale ends on May 12th. It's marked down 50%, matching an all-time low of just $9.99. Mask of Mist is a single-player fantasy action-adventure game from Sometimes You with a download size around 1.7 gigabytes and a main story that should last roughly 4 to 5 hours to wrap up. The game is played from a first-person view and features absolutely gorgeous, colorful environments, magical creatures, tough enemies, and puzzles to solve throughout, plus there's even mysterious caves and ancient ruins that you can explore as well. The story revolves around a mercenary being sent out to find a missing person, and I bet this is another game that would pop on the Switch OLED. If you like 3D fantasy adventure games, make sure to check out Mask of Mist before the sale ends on May 27th. It's marked down 50% to a new all-time low of just $7.49. Next up we have the Pixel Art Bundle Volume 1, which of course is another bundle from Digerati, and this time it includes 3 great games. The download is under a gigabyte, around 750 megabytes, and in this one you get Slain Back from Hell, which is a 2D action platformer with an amazing soundtrack. You'll also get Uncanny Valley, which is a survival horror style game, and then of course you get Bleed, which is a 2D run and gun platformer that offers local co-op for 2 players. Once again, this is another great value as it normally retails for about $38, but it's currently on sale along with the other bundles until May 12th, marked down 85%, again matching an all-time low of just $569. What Lies in the Multiverse is a single-player 2D puzzle platformer from Untold Tales with a download size around 480 megabytes and the main story that should last nearly 10 hours to wrap up. The story is comedic, and the main gimmick with the game is your ability to transform between realms, which you'll need to use in order to solve the puzzles and keep progressing through the different levels. The lighthearted feel to the game does help keep some of the heavier plot points from sticking with you for too long, and the main antagonist feels like it was taken right from Undertale. This is definitely a wild one, but if you're interested in What Lies in the Multiverse, make sure to check it out before the sale ends on May 16th. Right now it's marked down 35% to a brand new low of just $974. Alright my friends, that's going to wrap up today's episode. If you made it this far, you're legendary, and if you haven't subbed yet, please consider doing so as we release a few videos every week. And if you love the Switch, we're bound to cover something you'll enjoy eventually, right? We cover single game deal spotlights, gameplays, reviews, live streams, these big lists, all that good stuff. And to the channel members and patrons, thank you all so much for the additional support. It really does mean a lot to myself and to Little Man.
That's all for today's list. We hope you liked the video. If you did, consider subscribing and liking down below. Okay, bye!